Feed me. Feed me more. Feed me more. Feed me more. Feed me more. The Ryback Show starts now. Welcome to the Ryback Show live. I am the big guy, Ryback. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, on this fine, oh so hot Thursday, coming at you from Sin City, where it is absolutely just scorching, just like an oven outside right now. But luckily, I'm indoors in my nice home, and the AC bills. I just got done paying a round of bills for going into the next month, and I got to say that AC, we're in the high numbers already, and it'll be about 3 or 4 months of this where it just goes up a little more. This was the first big one, though. Between that and the solar, makes the big guy just that 2% Jewish in me comes out every time. The welcome everybody streaming live on Instagram and TikTok. The big guy Ryback22. Always appreciate you guys watching live. It's meant to just give you what this show is. I try to look and see some of the comments from time to time, but realistically, I would like you guys to swing over to Ryback TV and subscribe for free over on YouTube, where I take your questions. This is a question and answer format show. Health, fitness, supplementation, mindset, positivity, negativity, pro wrestling, life, anything and everything in between on all of that. This is kind of my way of trying to help people. Like I've said, I've talked about this before. I get the DMs. It's really difficult for me. I tried to do this years ago where I tried to really just help people for free, and I can't do it. Too many, and people message too much, and it turns into Robert De Niro from The Fan, the stalker, and it's not ever 100% of the people, but it's a lot. So this is the easiest way to talk to people, and then the other people that might have similar questions or concerns, it helps more than just the one person as well. So we're coming at you though live on Ryback TV here on YouTube, Ryback Rules on Twitch, Ryback at Twitter. We are also on all podcast platforms. iTunes reviews are greatly appreciated. If you've got a moment to swing over there, if you're a faithful Rybacker, your iTunes review means a lot to me. So thank you very much for those of you that do that. This podcast is brought to you by Feed Me More Nutrition, my premium supplement line, sweetened with stevia and monk fruit. No harmful artificial sweeteners or colors. Vegan friendly for all people, men, women, he, she, and thee, as my latest marketing commercials go. He, she, and thee. And my choice. If you've seen the new ones, we've got some really nice new marketing videos coming for July on that. So stay tuned for those. And feedmemore.com. You can save 20% with discount code RYBACKSHOW20. That's RYBACKSHOW20 over on feedmemore.com. Actually working on supplement number 14. Started with 3, and now we're approaching number 14. We've got a vanilla mocha protein, already the order put in, already paid for, just waiting for the production, baby. We're rocking and rolling, and I'm working on an elite prostate formula. I was going to call it all elite prostate, ultra premium prostate formula. And I go, that's a little much, because what is an all elite prostate? An elite prostate is all we need to have. We don't need an all elite prostate. And so it's just going to be called elite prostate. And it's going to be a real doozy. So I like to come out with supplements that really, really can help people. And this is one that for men, especially as men get older, keeping a healthy prostate is very, very important. We've got a kick-ass formula with that. So we've got the formula done, and it's going through the steps now, and we'll see. And then they're going to get over pricing, capsule count, and I got to look at that and make sure it's not like a 20 capsule serving or any, you know what I mean? There's just little steps that have to happen before things. So, and also cost. I always like to make sure when I put orders in that I'm getting it at the best cost possible, which depends on the way things are now. Prices have been just going up, but we'll see. The shooting blanks. Hello, Jamal. That show's been gone, brother. We've stopped doing that. That's been maybe 2 years almost, I would say. We've got a Jamal super sticker. Jamal Lapsley, thank you very much for the super sticker, buddy. The What's going on? Looking at some of the questions as we're going along here. I love you so much. It's feeding time. I'll tell you what, I went to the gym yesterday. I put out on Twitter, it was between 12 and 15 photos yesterday, which is probably more than when I was even wrestling on TV, even though there would always be pictures everywhere. But I'm telling you, I feel like it's all like a lot of it's teenage boys that were kids when I was coming up. And they all remember me because I look pretty much exactly the same, which is a blessing. But I always take that as a real being off TV for over 6 years, and with everything that's gone on, that everyone is so cool and supportive in person that I meet, and it always makes me feel good when people ask for pictures. And even though it is working out, and once you do one, it opens up the floodgates to, hey, he's doing pictures. It turns into a photo op. But it's better to have people recognize you than not recognize you, especially with everything going on and all the social media restriction. But that's why you keep hustling. It's better to be seen by some than by none. And on top of it, before TikTok got funny about 2 weeks ago, I was being seen by hundreds of millions of people regularly with all my stuff, with how many views I get on there, even though they've completely killed that in the last 2 weeks. Thanks, TikTok, and won't answer one question on what's going on. But I've been through this with them before, and it will mysteriously be fixed probably at some point. But yeah, so that was really, really cool. Big leg day today for the big guy as well. Big leg day today. Justice for Ryback. Yeah, brother, trust me. I would wish this on nobody. And for the people that don't understand and get mad at some of my tweets, I'm like, what would you do if you had a multi-billion-dollar corporation trying to ruin you and your family to make sure that you have to be dependent on them for the rest of your life when you've cut them off and they're trying desperately to hold on? Because that's exactly what's going on. And I'm going to win. And I've got my deposition early August, and I'm going to smoke them. And I can't wait to see what kind of questions they bring to the deposition. I'm going to absolutely smoke them, just as I smoke them by just telling the truth. And it's the greatest thing in the world because they know how corrupt and evil they are. And so I welcome. I wouldn't be shocked if they don't try to settle before the deposition, because they are going to absolutely just get their asses handed to them, as they have time and time again with all of this. Jake Truman, good to see you, buddy. A Ryback show regular. I hope you're doing well. Happy Thursday, my man. They said that Google and Apple are trying to ban TikTok. I've not heard anything on that. I don't know. Who knows what's going on? I'm waiting for Elon Musk to buy Twitter. I've heard there's multiple things delaying that, but the deal is still on. He has to pay $1 billion if the deal doesn't go through. So I'm sure he's just trying to get the price down a little more. And Twitter is full of it and lies. Like there's more than 5% fake accounts on there, guarantee. And what I think Twitter's actually trying to do, I think they're trying to cover up and destroy a lot of evidence of a lot of the stuff they've done before things get handed over. And there's no doubt that they're doing that. And so this deal, and Elon's probably fully aware of that. His whole thing is, at least it's going to be better moving forward once he takes over, when the deal goes through. But I already know, I'll tell you guys, I had to open a 21st case. They've closed 20 cases on my Twitter account. They told me when they told me I was restricted. So they've already admitted somebody messed up and told me I was restricted and sent it over. That was not supposed to. Then they got mad that I was contacting the wrong channel through them, even though there's no really wrong channel for what's going on. And then they go, no, your account has been fixed, even though they already said that the account was restricted, and that the fact that I can't promote tweets, that's another indicator that I am restricted, which I still cannot promote tweets. My analytics have never changed from the last 8 years since they restricted it. When I was in WWE in 2014 is when they actually started it on that. And that's what the analytics show on it. And it's just, man, I just sit back and I just keep hustling. And I tell you, I'm gonna smoke all these people at some point in time. And because the truth always wins at some point. And the people, man, like I just can't wait. Like there's some certain like that Paraga guy, the new Twitter guy. I would love to just walk into Twitter HQ and meet him. I would look him right in his eyes. I would like to grip his hand. I'd like him to feel my strength and just to let him know, like, you're done messing around. You're done. You're done. And that point will come if he's even still around when after the deal goes through. But evil, horrible human beings. And you've got a guy doing no wrong who this, and like anybody that sides with WWE on any of this, man, get lost. Get lost. And like everything I'm doing is to make things better for me and for pro wrestlers, all the people coming up and all the future people coming into the business, so that they stop doing this shady stuff to people. But nobody has the balls to stick up for it and to fight because they don't want to have them. They know what they're capable of. I luckily don't care about my legacy. I care about what's right. And I'm a physical actor, and I know I'm damn good at it. And they'll never shake my confidence or be able to break me. And that's why I've won everything. That Marty, yeah, he goes, I was at SmackDown and you came out pretending to be typing with your hands. Did you have heat for S? But that was during the period of that was shortly that my Twitter account got restricted shortly thereafter. That was because that was at the time where I started speaking out publicly on a lot of things, and WWE did not like it, and they had that Mark Carrano one day at TV. He tried to tell me, he said, yeah, we on your tweets, you're like, you can't be saying certain things. And then I said, don't you tell me how to use my Twitter. And that was the meeting. I walked right out. And they already screwed me over massively. They'd already taken everything away. I was already mentally done at that point. Like it was just a matter of just collecting more money, so waiting for my time to leave on that. So, and making sure things never got too bad with anything. And so, but that was shortly after the period, and that was like the eat, tweet, delete, repeat. That was all character-driven stuff and just having fun for the first time and not caring anymore on like any of it, because I was like the damage had already been done. But that's when they then go, oh, we might want to silence this guy, and that was when they did it. And the analytics show that, because massively engaged, massive impressions up until that point. And then overnight, it all dropped. And I wasn't even aware. I had no idea. I would have it off my phone a lot of times and then just get it on. I wasn't as savvy with all this, and I had to learn marketing and sales and social media. I wasn't into all of it then. Like that was literally my really beginning of using it. And just, it's crazy. And they have no right to do that to anybody, to nobody. There's people, and the people that defend them, it angers me so much that you side with that over wrestlers. But a lot of that's your own insecurities and jealousies, because the wrestlers are doing the things that you could never do. And not you personally, but those special people. Hello. Appreciate the love. I'm doing well, thank you. Super chat, it's yo dude, thank you, buddy. If you went back to WWE for one last match, was there a question with that? If there's a question, if I don't know what the question is. Jake says, what do you think of Logan Paul signing with WWE? Do you think he's talented and can bring anything? And then someone also asked, how do you feel about all this talent getting let go just to sign Logan Paul? No, so I think that is a fantastic signing. And I don't know what the details. I hope to God he read the contract and had his attorney make some changes on that, or otherwise they probably own Logan Paul and the podcast at this point. And legit, that's something I'm sure he's smart enough to that was all that deal that he'd had that contract well in advance. But typically they treat people like that much better than they treat regular wrestlers. They what they do is they'll put on a real pony show for the outsiders like that, and they cater to them. But people that are like lifelong wrestlers that love the business, and not saying Logan doesn't love it, but like people that loved it and got into it because that's what they wanted. They wanted just to be a pro wrestler. They treat like absolute dirt. And but that's why you got to not care, and that's why I feel so liberated and free, because now I ultimately don't care, and they mean nothing to me at any of it, and that's the best way to ever have it. And you could just tell, no, that deal absolutely sucks. Screw you. I don't care. I don't care about some legacy or made up thing. I'm a physical actor. I don't care about the props. I don't care. No, 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 no. But a guy like that, that's a big sign because he has a big following, and that's what they need. They need people like that to attract more people to the product, and not just the select hardcore people, the ones that are complaining on Twitter every week about everything regardless, right? Those people don't matter. You need to, those people are going to watch every single week. And I am a big believer, and you got to stop listening to anything on social media with it, and just do what you're going to do and go by certain metrics and measurements. And you can go by social metrics and in the TV ratings and in the YouTube ratings and the numbers on all that, right? With everything. And then you go by obviously each talent, individual talent, and what they're bringing in. And you can see all that through the information and the people in the departments they have. Logan Paul's a good signing, and he did very, very good for his WrestleMania match. And that stuff's super easy to get ready. Like, again, I say super easy, but he's an athlete. Like, he's in a tag match. He's going to have a few specific spots, and he wasn't perfect by any means, but he did well, right? And they can make money with him, I'm sure, to some degree, or if they signed a long-term deal. I don't know exactly the specifics on the deal, but that's good. It's good. You need people like that. He has a big podcast, and now the issue is when he's on, and you want to try to get a portion of his followers to start watching the product, which some will. So they will get some new fans out of that. How many? That's hard to guess. I don't know with that, but that's good to have people like that in the wrestling business. It's a TV show. He's an entertainer and a star, right? He's very relevant in the world of things, kind of things going on, and like his show is relevant and does really, really well. And so now those are the people. A lot of those people that he appeals to, they don't think much of pro wrestling. So it's kind of a good thing that he's doing it, because they go, hey, we're a Logan guy. We're going to watch this. We're going to watch his deal. We're going to watch our guy go, right? And then you get some new fans out of that, or the parents watching. They have kids. The kids get hooked, and that's how you get new fans. And you start getting some casual people that become more into it as time goes on. So you guys should never hate on stuff like that with people. That's a very, very good signing. Now the upsetting thing is, this is where a lot of wrestlers will get upset, is they'll bring somebody in like that and pay them more money in 1 year than most talents will make their entire careers. Now that's the part that now it's right for that guy to make money, right? That's not the problem is the underpaying of all the wrestlers on all the other time. And that's where the industry really needs to improve. And it's important for talents when you sign, you need to be able to, like, this information needs to be more well-known, and they hide it because they know they don't want people to know how much they're actually really keeping. You need to be able to, when you're signing a talent, you need to be able to say, well, what are we going to do marketing wise, merchandising wise? Can I see a list of your talents and what each talent is bringing into the company each year? They have all this information, by the way. And then they should be able to share this. Well, this is what these guys, this is where we think you might fit in. And then, but you can see, well, what are they making per year? Oh, they're making 500,000. Well, why are you only offering me 150 or 100 when I'm going to kind of be in that category, right? This is real. This is how negotiation should go, by the way. In any other industry things, you have things to compare things with. Not in wrestling. They hide all the information. They tell you nope. Or if you ask questions, oh, nope, offers off the table. This is why speaking up is important. Do you understand me? The things I talk about and say help people as they're coming up, and it helps expose what they're doing, which is what they're getting exposed in the trademark case behind all the shady stuff they did to me behind the scenes. And I'm just getting them by telling the truth. And it looks really, really bad for them, which is why they want to settle. They want to settle. Do you understand? They want to settle. After everything I've said, they want to settle. Just think about that. There's a reason why I'm doing what I'm doing. And I don't care. I don't care. And they're gonna burn to the ground regardless. So, but it's good. It's good to have a guy like Logan Paul in. Hey, Nino, you notice, hey, hope you're doing well, buddy. Notice the Hope spot was out of stock. #hungry. Yes, the order is in. We have the reorder in. So and I'm hoping in maybe a month, maybe less. That one, GTS was out of stock also. That is, the labels are in now. I'm hoping that is in. It was delayed a few more days. I'm hoping that's in by next week, and which I hoping to get it done today or tomorrow, actually, and then it gets shipped out to fulfillment. Yeah, and then I've got the order in for the ISO Hungry Vanilla Mocha plant-powered protein, and then I'm probably going to go down to 2 pre-workouts eventually. Pink lemonade, and I haven't made up my mind if I'm going to keep mango or green candy. They both sell around the same, but pink lemonade by far sells the best. I would like to get the other flavor of the Pumplexity, and then that way I'm a little more balanced on my line on having multiple flavors, even though I love having the 3 for the pre-workouts. But the Pumplexity prices are so expensive on L-citrulline, so I think it's my most expensive supplement now, in my lowest profit margins on those. But I want to get that blueberry Pumplexity out as well. So I'm just waiting. I'm literally every day like looking at things, but that stuff's in it. Hopefully, Nino, in about a month on that, though. I hope all is well, buddy. We're going to go ahead and we've got another weirdo we're going to shell shock out of Rybackville. Tyler Sugaru, welcome. Yo, I joined your channel, an official Rybacker. New Rybacker in the house. I've got a bell. I'll bring a bell in here for when I can ring it for when we got a new Rybacker in the Ryback community. We've got a new Rybacker. Welcome, Tyler, to Rybackville. David says they want to settle because they're wrong. Absolutely, 100%. And this is what I've said. They've known what they've done to me from day one. So anything I say, they already are expecting. They're probably, I think I have stayed so sane and positive throughout all of this. Just imagine a company restricting you in trying to ruin your business and everything and hide you organically from people. How many people would just give up on that and not even a chance to fight it? Not me. I make more content because I want everyone to see how obvious it is. And by the way, I'm the most followed pro wrestler on TikTok behind The Rock of all their talent on TV. Not one of their talent. The closest one's 1 million away from me. And that's in 3 years. A lot of them have had the accounts longer and with no TV time while being restricted everywhere. So you tell me what that says. You can make up whatever you want about me. I just tell you facts, Jack. So I can't wait. I am going to shell shock them all the way through on this with a smile on my face. Pure evil demons. That is what they are. I think oatmeal is superior to cereal in every way possible. Thank you, Nino, and as always, appreciate, man, all the love and support with Feed Me More Nutrition, man. This is my passion, and it makes me happy to be able to share this stuff. And I met a guy yesterday in the gym. This is the stuff, I share it on here. It was this. He's been to the gym for 1 month, and he told me he met me like 6 years ago before I left WWE at a signing. And he said, and he just said, he goes, "You're the reason why I'm working out and started eating better." And he goes, "It's my first month in the gym," and he goes, "I'm going to keep doing it." He said, "I don't want to be I don't want an overweight POS anymore. And he laughed. He goes, I follow you on TikTok, and very nice guy. And we took a picture in the gym. But to me, that is extremely motivating when somebody makes a choice to change their life for the better because of the things I talk about. And that's what, like, I appreciate the people that watch me and understand my sense of humor and my sarcasm, and then can distinguish when I'm being serious and when I'm turning it on for the entertainment factor, right? And it's very important to be able to distinguish that stuff. And we live in a day and age where people like to take things out of context and whatnot. But like the guy follows, and now he's putting in the work, and he's gonna. I told him, I go in a year from now, your next picture, I hope you're more jacked than me, or you better be more jacked than me. And then we had a laugh and took a photo together. And it makes me feel good, though, that people, even with all this going on, are still seeing it, and it does make a difference. And I know that because I get the DMs, but it's always nice too to meet somebody in person and see them doing the work. And because I know how valuable like that work is putting in. And I know that if they keep doing that, their life is going to change drastically for the better the more time goes on. We're going to block you here too. I'll never understand the people that get blocked on one platform and then search you down on the other platforms. Like, I'm not just going to instantly block you on the new platform. Like, once you're blocked on one platform, you're going to be blocked on the others if I find you. I'm not going to go seek you out, though. You guys rat yourselves out. You're like, hey, you blocked me on Instagram. What's going on? And then boom, oh, thanks, dude. I'm going to block you here too to save myself from any trouble from ever seeing you ever again. Then I'll go to Twitter, and he's like, hey, it's me. I was just on your Instagram and YouTube, and you blocked me on both of those. What's going on? Block. Then I open, hey, it's me. I'm here on Facebook. What's the deal? Block. Hey, Ryback, a new friend on Snapchat. Block. Oh my God, I can't believe I found you on TikTok. You blocked me on every other social app, but here I am. Shell shock me here too. Okay, block. Like anything's going to change. Oh man, I know we had our differences over on Instagram, but bro, TikTok, it's a fresh slate. Fist bump. No, shell shock, gone. I've got very interesting people that follow me. I had somebody, my old manager at Smoky Bones. I got to actually text him back. He texted me early this morning that one of my followers on Twitter that had been blocked actually messaged him and sent him a message complaining that I blocked them. And he doesn't even know, but they knew he was my manager somehow. Like, because probably something he posted on Twitter. But he was like, "Man, your followers are special, huh?" I go, yeah, some of them are. Jeez. Tyler, thank you for the super chat. Which mania? I actually went to Starbucks already. Here, took the dogs for their pup cup. So this is the Starbucks fund. Tyler paid for today's coffee already. Tyler's paid for 2 coffees today already. Which mania theme do you think is better? WrestleMania 22 big time or WrestleMania 23 ladies and gentlemen? I know the big time one. That brings me back to memories of OVW. Aaron the Idol Stevens used that theme song before it was the WrestleMania theme. That was his theme in OVW. He was doing a big time gimmick, and I have a feeling that they got that song from him using it, and he had to stop using it. And he later became Damian Sandow. For those of you that don't know but he, I never liked that. I mean, the song is catchy. When I hear it, it brings me back to OVW memories. But I don't know. I don't necessarily like it for a wrestling theme. It's kind of like the song, like with the Money in the Bank. I don't like the Donald Trump theme that he used. The money, 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 money. Like, I don't like that song. Even I like the I Fight Dragons money song. If you haven't heard that, it's one I love that song. It has a great just vibe to it. Perfect wrestling song for a pay-per-view for like Money in the Bank with that. But ladies and gentlemen, I think I know I pretty confident because I know exactly what one that is. That one is better, in my opinion, by a landslide for a WrestleMania theme. Another shell shock there. Yeah, David, we get some real weirdos. He's already been blocked on. He's been multiple accounts. He just keeps coming back in. And great, Derek the Oil Boy is here. The freak show is in the house here on the Ryback Show. Derek the Oil Boy says David Otunga is better all oiled up with baby oil. Well, Derek, you would certainly know. You would certainly, your expert oiled up opinion would certainly have a lot of merit, and know that. I mean, as far as you prefer David Otunga oiled up. Who else do you like oiled up, Derek the Oil Boy? Is there not a wrestler? Is there somebody that you wouldn't want to oil up, Derek? What are your thoughts on Otis? If Otis came into the locker room and he had to do double duty, he did a main event match, and he's also kicking off Raw, so he has to really hurry. So Otis does a main event match with the Alpha Academy. He's blown sky high, saliva kind of coming down his mouth, breathing, sweat just everywhere. He's smelly because he didn't shower before the match. He had a hard workout at the a fitness center right down the street from where the show was. Had a big workout, kind of smelly, a little bit of BO. Comes in, does the wrestling match, all just sweaty. Had a big meal of steak and bacon and pork before, so they're just seeping out of his pores. He comes into the trainer's room. He needs a fresh coat of oil. You're all out of gloves, Derek the Oil Boy. No gloves in the trainer's room. Everyone, you looking around. Otis is right there. He needs a hard lathering of oil all over his body, under his arms, everything. What do? Do you get excited over it, Derek? Is he on the same level of a Orton and Otunga? Yeah, you're going to oil up, or do you pass? Do you say no, I'm good? Just curious, Derek. These are the questions that the Ryback Show likes to ask you guys. Brother Justin, you've asked this, I feel like, on multiple shows now, and I've avoided answering it because it's such a Mark question. You go, what do you remember about being backstage before and after Taker's streak ended? Like, do you think like that was like, what do you think like people like broke down crying or something? It's physical acting. Like, do you think like the world stopped? Like, do you think like I was in catering watching the match with everybody else? Dolph Ziggler was next to me. He lost. None of us were expecting him to lose. Me and Ziggler looked at each other. Well, he lost. Do you think I like then? Oh my God, I got to go eat 5 fruitcakes and stuff my face full of cookies because I'm a massive depression because Undertaker's streak is over. And I got to go online and type a bunch of negative stuff about how much I hate Vince. This is how your Mark questions sound. I'm just trying to be straight with you guys. What were my emotions when the streak ended? Like, I got no goddamn emotions. I'm a physical actor. I'm there. I've made it. You think any of us? We had a group prayer afterwards with tears falling down our face. Rest in peace, Undertaker. Is this what you guys like? Like, do you think that, we all held hands and sang Kumbaya together with a little urn in the middle? God. I like to just rate these questions. I like to just sometimes answer some of the weird ones. Got a wild hair at my ass today. That Starbucks coffee is pretty strong. What were my emotions when the streak? Like, what do I remember about the backstage? Oh, I remember it. Dark and gloomy vibe backstage. Walking the hallways, nobody would make eye contact with each other, brother. Love the supplements, Ryback. Where's the new when the new flavors coming? They will be out soon, my man. Soon. Everything we've got getting ready. I'm waiting to hear back on a couple things and go from there. Here's another great. What's my relationship with Punk now? We never talked before, and we don't talk now. Update on me and Punk. There you go. Jared says, how was your time with Bo Dallas? I love his Bo Leave gimmick. It was so funny what did you think about when you destroyed him? Well, one, I never destroyed him. We just had a wrestling match, and I love Bo. I love Bray, Wyndham, Bo, Taylor. I always loved wrestling him. He is way better. He was an NXT champion, FCW champion, or NXT champion. I don't remember if it was after they made the switch. And he's a guy that should still be there. And I just don't. Super talented, awesome athlete, great human being. I'll tell you what. And if you had to give me if I had to pick a team of guys, and like if you had to like a legit like you said, hey, you're gonna have to get 5 guys that you want to go to war with that have your back. Taylor's probably going to be picked on my side. He's a badass. Like that Taylor would smoke a lot of people. Which is funny. Sometimes the people like that play the funniest characters, right? And but I was a huge fan of the Bo Dallas character. I thought he could have played that character for his whole career. And all you have to do is just keep him in meaningful things. And he could have been a top heel, could have been a big baby face. And I hate it when they take things away from people that were working, and it was working. And man, he played that character so well. VC Stallion, had you won the WWE title, would you still have left? Yes. You guys, again, so this is negligence of not neglecting to listen to anything I've said. I left primarily because my back and shoulder were done. I tried telling them multiple times how hurt I was, that nobody was listening to me. And I was just like, I finally just had enough. And then with everything going on with the contract, I was like, I just got to get out of here. And when I left, like I didn't know to the extent yet of everything of like if I was going to come back or not, but I just knew I had to get out of there. And I knew, and I like, but when I told them like I never wanted to talk to Vince again, and like I just left. I meant that, and I still mean it. Like I just don't. I'd already had tried too many times, and I figured out what was going on, and that means nothing to me, man. I'll tell you again, championships don't mean anything to me. I care about just having fun and making as much money as possible to live the life that I live and to be a physical actor. Like that's what, and I just want to play the roles. And now if that is lined up with one of the roles that I'm playing, cool. But like that, at the end of the day, that doesn't mean anything to like your life. Do you think when you die and like they're like God has a checklist? Oh, you're a 4-time former WWE champion. You're gonna go over here. No, it's physical acting. It doesn't know. Like once you know that, and there's certain people so I get along so good with Kevin Nash. Kevin Nash is like just gets it. And Scott was the same way. Scott Hall. They understood what it was as a business, and that's what it's lacking severely in today's wrestlers and up and coming. And you got to figure that out. Not to say it doesn't. It might mean something to certain people, but for once, it doesn't. In my grand scheme of things, it doesn't. You don't need that for a fulfilled, happy life. It doesn't make it's physical acting. It's not like winning the UFC championship. It's completely not. It's not. It's just playing a role like in a movie. That might offend some people, but it's the truth offends you. There's a lot in this world that's going to offend you. VC Stallion super chat. I thought it was a shame. I thought you could have been the next Cena in terms of being the next face of the company. Feed Me More was over. Much love. Thank you very much, buddy. And nothing is over. I think I've been blessed with getting my health back and staying young. So it's but everything that happens is for my favor and benefit. And everything I've learned in my life that will set me up for massive success, far past anything wrestling could ever bring. That's not to say I want to go back and have that as part of my life, but I wouldn't be where I am in life now without those things happening. So I'm not upset over it. You shouldn't be either. But I do appreciate the kind words, and I lived it, man. I know I lived it, and I worked very hard to get to that point. Carrie Middleton says, "Hey, big guy, what's a good workout for the inner triceps? It's my weak point to get bigger triceps." Very genetic muscle, like a lot. I will just say there was a new study that's been put out. I was going to talk about this. This is a perfect question to bring it up. That the new studies are showing that working out a muscle twice per week is ideal for maximum hypertrophy, for maximum muscle growth on that, as opposed, and now within that, it's 10 to 20 sets per muscle. So if you were to train a muscle for 20 sets once per week, they're saying training that 10 sets twice per week yields better results in the latest studies that they've done. And now I need to look more into this to see how strength, and I've always done everything once a week except for traps. And I will say this because I've switched to doing my traps once a week and to doing them twice a week and splitting it up. And my traps always pop a little better when I do them twice per week. And so I go, you know what? I don't think that's clearly there's that study. There's something to this. But what I would advise is figuring out your rep scheme. And again, my Feed Me More maximum size and strength program. I'm a big believer in that 4 to 6 rep scheme, but also 10 to 12 reps as well. And you got to give your body a break from pushing it at times with that. But training till failure or as close to that as possible is really, in that 4 to 6 rep range, is really, really the ideal way to put on maximum size and strength. But it depends on the exercise as well. Sometimes there's certain exercises where you are better off going on the 10 to 12 side. It's just the way that it is. But training twice per week and doing a combination of exercises to train the 3 different heads of the tricep. It's the Feed Me More maximum size and strength program. We have a ton of exercises all on that for you. But I would like, if you, one really cool exercise that I found that has helped my triceps is that behind the back barbell, where you grab a barbell behind your back and you maybe just the barbells. You might have to get even a lighter weight with that, but you just extend out. You extend out with that barbell. It's behind the back barbell extensions, and you try to squeeze your triceps for a 3 to 5 count. That works incredibly well for packing on some size on the triceps. I'm telling you, really, really, you can get a hell of a pump with that too. But I would look into adding that into your routine, a few sets every week. But I would look into that 2 times a week split. Whether you're doing, as long as you're getting 10 sets per week, so you can do 5 sets Monday, 5 sets Thursday, 10 sets Monday, 10 sets Thursday. If you're doing 20, I tend to go closer to that 20 range, sometimes a little over, because that's just the way that I am. But there's now evidence showing that that is ideal for maximum muscle size. Tyler Sugaroo, another Tyler hooking the big eye up with that coffee money, getting into the massage money now. If they were still alive, who would you rather main event Mania against, Macho Man or Andre the Giant? Macho Man. Wrestling big guys is giants. Don't get me wrong, it's fun, but you are limited in a way of because you're working around a guy that is that big, right? And it's oftentimes like a guy like that. It's not even like, because I would be smaller than him in that, but the story in that would be, could I get him off his feet? That's always a great story to tell with a guy that size, regardless of which way the finish is going, right? So to work up to that point, it would be a lot of fun. It would that, because that noise gets really loud when you start telling that story, and you could get the right things in there. But it's a physically much harder match. Macho Man, to the promos. Oh, and I love guys, because Macho looked and sounded the part, and that to me is one of the greatest compliments people ever give me. They go, "You just look and sound like a pro wrestler." For a kid that grew up loving it, and like, to me, that is, I was like, I would love to tag with Macho Man. I'd love us to have a big program, big feud, and then figure out a tag name. What would a Macho? I don't know. the hungry macho men, the hungry feeders. I don't know. I don't know what our name would be. Macho feeding frenzy. We'd have to have a cool name. And then have a nice tag run, and I'd have the colorful singlets and be doing promos together. That would be a lot of me on my Wake Up Unlimited Energy, him taking what he took back in the day. I can't say it because we're on TikTok. That would be insane, wild. I love the tag team of Ryback. Joe Henning, Curtis Axel. I love. He's such a great guy. That was a lot of fun. Put names that you would like to see me and Macho Man, the Macho tag team with me and Macho Man. I'm just trying to see what possible names there could be for that. The Savage Rybackers. Ooh, Ryback. I don't like Rybackers. I don't know. I'm trying to. But man, I could get in on some of that Slim Jim money. Macho wouldn't be happy about that, but would feed me more. He's snap into a Slim Jim. Feed me more. And then like I steal his Slim Jim, but it's not vegan, so I don't eat it. And then we shove each other. That's it. That's the end of the commercial. Real Life says, why is the Wake Up Unlimited Energy pre-workout recommended only once per day? Is it the caffeine? Sometimes I like it twice. Yeah. Well, it has, for a full scoop, has a high amount of caffeine. You know, if you take one scoop and then do a half a scoop later, but you're not taking any other caffeine throughout the day, you know, that's one thing. But it's advised just to stick to one scoop and two with the yohimbine, and you can go higher on that. And some people do like a little more caffeine, but you got to remember that with this stuff, the whole point of it's to be healthy. And a lot of people, you know, like me, I do it and I have my coffee too. You don't want to be consuming too much caffeine throughout the day. Caffeine is very good for us. Too much caffeine, like anything, isn't ideal for us. But everybody has their limits and the different amounts. But oftentimes, the only way you know that too is getting you're getting lab work done, getting your blood pressure checked. And if your blood pressure is consistently high, you have to look at, well, what's your sodium intake? How much caffeine are you consuming per day? And then you got to start adjusting things. And then oftentimes you'll be like, try one thing. Well, like if somebody's like consistently has high blood pressure, but their diet is pretty good and they work out, and you're like, well, how much caffeine are you consuming per day? And if it's high, you go, well, let's start cutting back on that. And let's do the blood pressure and let's see if that starts coming back a little more consistent at a lower number. And if it doesn't, then you're like, well, what's the diet? What's the sodium like? Let's start bringing that sodium down a little bit and seeing, or adding some more potassium to your meals, which helps balance out sodium, which is one of the best things I could tell you guys. If you have trouble with too much sodium, get the potassium salt. You can buy it at the store. It's in the salt aisle. It's potassium. Tastes just like salt or very close to it. And sprinkle that on your meals. And that helps balance out that sodium where it doesn't have the impact. And but I would say still lower the sodium through processed foods and see if your blood pressure starts normalizing. And oftentimes it will. Other times there's things going on, but at least you know, right? That's how you figure things out and make adjustments. Your speech and money cover based, but you thinking audience mentality. I don't understand what that question was. Tyler, thank you again for the super chat, buddy. You guys would be an awesome team. Have a good day. Thank you, Tyler Sugaru, once again, loyal Ryback Show listener and contributor, and now new member of the Rybackville community. I hope you have a good day, dude, buddy. Should we avoid processed food? Yeah, I would say you want to avoid it as much as possible. We're all human. There's going to be times we have it, right? And enjoy some stuff. But I think the less we have that stuff, the better we will be. And that comes with having a diverse diet and learning, eating different things and learning how to make certain foods and different things and getting out of the comfort zone a little bit. Hello, hello. What city did you dread going to? And which city were you the most excited to go to? Always loved coming back to Vegas because I lived here. Um, and I always liked going to California because I would be able to drive like and come back home. We always did whenever we would do a California loop. I was coming back to Vegas, and oftentimes I would sometimes drive my own car. It would save me from going. I would take my Challenger or truck and do the California loop in my own vehicle because we'd usually end up back in Vegas. And that happened quite a few times. And then I'd usually be able to do my SmackDown, and I'd leave right as soon as I did my thing and get home a little early. And man, and that was good because you hardly ever was home during any of that period and all that whole time. So I always enjoyed California shows. I just love West Coast, man. I love that vibe, the ocean, the smell, just of the water, of just the air. I love just the California vibe and scene. Just to visit, not to live there, but just to be there. San Diego, Oceanside, I love that area a lot. Um, what city did I dread going to? New York City. I would always stay as far out away from down. Like I would not stay anywhere near New York City. And one time I had to because I had an appearance. Me and Seamus had an appearance at a Toys R Us, and they got me. I had to get a hotel in downtown New York City. Oh man, I just tell you, I get people. You're born somewhere, it gets really busy, it gets packed. I don't know how people live in that. And I get a lot of people that don't have cars down there, so it makes it's a different way of life. But having a car, a rental car, and having to like park it and like everything is just crammed in, trash all over the streets. I'm not a big fan of New York City. That said, I love New York. My family's from upstate New York. I think it's some of the most beautiful parts of things I've seen are in that New York area, upstate New York, and other parts. But the condensed parts, I just didn't like it. I was never a fan of Madison Square Garden. I don't care about any of the stuff. I don't care about the arena. Like I'm not that kind of stuff doesn't mean anything to me personally. It's all the same. It's just dealing with a bunch of chaos around it. And it's not to say that it doesn't mean anything, the history and all that. Just to me it doesn't. And so I just never enjoyed New York City. But I don't like big cities in general. Like I stay away from the strip. I'm up by the mountains. My ideal place is going to Montana somewhere eventually and being away and just having a bunch of land and like I just like peace and quiet. Like I don't like chaos and makes me want to start throwing meat hooks. Did Vince eat protein bars and steak every meal? Good question, Marty. Vince's eating habits. I've had quite a few meetings with Vince while he was eating. The In which Paul Heyman always remember used to tell me, he goes, you want to talk to Vince right after he eats, not before when he's hungry because he's cranky, and you don't want to talk to him while he's eating unless he wants to talk to you. Which Vince, there were a few times I went in there and he just got his food. He'd have a big steak and vegetables. I never saw him eat any carbs in my time. Not to say they didn't eat them, but he always had just steak and vegetables every time that he ate, and he always would have me come in, and he I think he liked eating in front of me. I think it like some odd thing with the feed me more, and that like he's sitting there eating the foods that I love to eat. There was something to it because he never once would have me leave when he was eating, and so he like we had quite a few conversations, quite a bit with him eating but he's going all like TV days, and then he'd have like his production meetings. He has protein bars and he has these shakes, and they're horrible. They have the artificial sweeteners, that and the bars, and he has his energy drinks. So he has these would be in the production room oftentimes like wrestlers will go in the production meeting when they're done, and there'll be all this protein stuff in there. You can get protein bars, the shakes that they're like, they'd have the powder in the plastic bottles. You just add water and shake. And like, so he would have those. They had like a case of those at every TV for him and for the production meetings, because those guys were in there for a long time, right? Rightfully so. Like those things, you're doing a live TV show, that stuff is pretty chaotic. And then he would eat, I don't know if it was a couple times throughout the day. One would be like right after the meeting, he'd have his steak and vegetables, and probably one other, probably the same thing, based off my experience of going there different times right before TV. And then he would have in Gorilla, he has the bars and the energy drink, and the shake will sometimes be right by one of the monitors. He'd always be in the monitor closest to the wall. And then usually somebody like Hunter or Road Dogg or somebody would be sitting next to him. And I think that's probably like Bruce now, but I don't know if he's still there, if he's with everything going on, I don't know. But that was kind of the stuff that I'd seen him eat and stuff there. I heard he eats hot dogs in Gorilla. Looking at some of the questions. Yeah, absolutely. I would never say he is in good shape for his age. I wouldn't argue that one bit. He still works out. I've never talked bad about anything on that end. What's my opinion on steroids and PEDs? Avoid them. They're trash. TRT, hormone replacement therapy, for the people that need it to be healthy in the normal levels, and in that case, in not abusing it and staying within the normal levels, that is one thing. Outside of that, there's no place for it, in my opinion, outside of, unless, like, again, a medical condition where they're trying to put weight on, for, you know what I mean? Unless it's for some sort of medical condition, there's no place for them. And I think all the people that you just see making massive mistakes with them. I'll tell you too, like, AEW needs a drug testing policy. I've said it, and I'm shocked that with people like Punk there that like are so outspoken on that, he's so okay with all the people there. They need to get a real legit drug testing policy in place. I've said it for years now, since it's the one thing I want to see them do. And it just, there's no place for him, man. Especially with somebody like, I hate it, because you look a certain way and you work really hard, and then you just see other people that don't, and then they do that stuff. I just don't. I don't like it, and it has no place, man. And that's, I don't, people. I've been like, I'm the number one advocate for like legit the strictest drug testing. And like, it makes me look better, because I know there's not a lot of people that can look like me, and it's one of the reasons why I'm so damn consistent with it. But there's just so much, it's not good for you. It's going to cause legit problems for the rest of your life. But you got a lot of people have to learn that when they're young, and it is what it is. I would stay away though. But ultimately, if you compare yourself to other people and you watch some people get a little bit of attention online, it's really easy to go down that path. But I tell you, you'll see. You will see. Joe asked, have I ever gone to a Vegas Golden Knights game? Do you like hockey? I do enjoy hockey. So that is I actually I'm going to make it a priority to go to some Golden Knights games. Me and Phoenix Marie have like jerseys with our names on it that I got us. I need to go. I haven't yet. I watched the hockey. I watched the Colorado Avalanche win the Stanley Cup this year. And I really like, I watched more hockey this year than I've watched. I used to watch it all the time with my dad when I was a kid. And that's one of the things that having my own business and having some time here and there to like enjoy some stuff a little bit, that I'd like, when I got in wrestling and gone, and like I stopped watching sports, my free time, I'd watch wrestling matches, which was obsessive, but like that's how it would just keep myself sharp. But right now I have more leniency and laid back to enjoy life a little bit more, and just a little, nothing crazy. Right. But I wouldn't mind, even though I dread the process of so for me to enjoy a Golden Knights game, I have to be drunk. I think, and that I have to pregame at my house, have a nice buzz going, Uber or get a car to the arena, T-Mobile Arena, drinks right when I get there. Hopefully, fans probably buying them, and just enjoy the game from beginning to end. Just drink after drink after drink. Then like nothing bothers me. I'm just happy. I'm not worried about being around a bunch of other people. I'm not thinking about the Unabomber with all the people, anything. I'm just here. I am. Woo! Go Golden Knights. Strutting down to go get my beers. Drunk Ryback, they call me to the center of the ring. I get picked to do the hockey challenge. I botch it, slip and land on my head. Old ankle injury, can't skate. Who did you respect the most for being as big of a name as they were, but being humble at the same time? Chris Jericho, I think it was the Chris. He was good to me from day one, from Nexus all the way. Always great advice. I like Chris because he, like I told you, he was pulled us all aside during Nexus, and like just we had a live event match and we were doing really good, but that match we didn't have a good match. There were some mess ups out there between multiple people, and he just kind of let us know like, hey, we're in the main event now. None of that. And he goes, this might be the only time you guys are ever in the main event for the rest of your careers. Make the most of every single night. And it was very motivating. But he made sure to pull us aside where nobody else was at. He was very firm and direct with us, all young, brand new guys from developmental. But it wasn't it wasn't an FU. It wasn't anything derogatory. It was like, let's go. You guys are now in the big leagues with us. You're here. Let's go out and deliver every night, and let's enjoy this, because we were riding hot. And then when he worked with me as Ryback, and obviously I wish it was everything, and he was great with all of that. Like I wish we had that match at WrestleMania, what he wanted to do, and I just wish that would have been the platform. But I got to work him quite a bit in live events and TV and on pay-per-view. And he's just always easy to communicate with, easy chemistry in the ring, never like just great. But he's also, though, if there would have been a problem, he wouldn't have held it in and then not said something and then go bury you to Vince. He would go tell you if there was a problem. That's why I like Chris. Like if there was, he's not like some of the other, you know what I mean? And or makeup issues, because he's not insecure. But he's confident, and he had money. He had his spot secure, and he'd already achieved so much at that point. It was just I would say by a landslide, Chris. Wasn't even just great advice. Even we weren't working together, still if he had some insight on something, you know. So I always appreciated that. I know you water down your wine, but do you ever have any drinks like low carb beers? Yeah, it's usually just the wine. Um, I have had where if I just do a bottle of wine, maybe I do some of those seltzers. But I try to, I know my limit with the red wine is always at 2 bottles with about a gallon of water, drank over a 3 or 4 hour period. Go to bed like a baby, no hangover, nice light buzz, not drunk, not in any way and I say not drunk in the sense like completely just feel normal, but just a nice little buzz, and wake up, no hangover, nothing. And then I go into my fast more often than not. With other alcohols, I don't know. You have an idea, but I really like the wine, because I can gauge it, and then I could add the water as I'm drinking it. If I like, sometimes I want it to last a little longer. I've got a quarter left. I'm gonna fill it up all the way again, and I do that, and just make it last longer. And when you're drinking all that water, it's just more of a just enjoying it. Because I drank when I was younger, and I have a high tolerance, by the way. Like I could drink a lot, which I don't. I stay away from the hard liquor, and I don't. I just think that that's where mistakes come. I think if you start doing hard liquor, doing shots, and I get it. When I was young, I did it occasionally, not a lot, but like my times that I've been messed up all involved hard liquor, and I feel like, where things you never want to not be conscious of what you're doing, and with hard liquor, that is something. You know what I mean? That's where people like, oh, I'm going to get behind the wheel and drive, and they have no recollection of it. That's a really tough thing, right? Because you know you wouldn't do that if you were drinking something else, or not that intoxicated. And then there's other people that do know what they're doing on it, but I feel like just wine is the best way to enjoy some alcohol, get a little bit of a health benefit out of it, still getting the alcohol, but at least it has some antioxidants and resveratrol. Are there better ways to get that? Yeah. Not BSing on that. You eat grapes, better for you with it, which I eat every morning with it. But I like the feeling of that buzz. And I think once a week, it gives you something to work towards as a treat. And I'm really big on that, like of giving yourself something. And it keeps it where you're not doing it every night. And you work hard, oh, I got that Friday is my night. And I'm not going to go wild. It's just a nice treat at the end of the week, Saturday, whatever day it is, right? And just but with other beers, the other same beer can be controlled a lot more, but I don't mix water with beer. I do it with wine. So I tend to not to, and like beer too fills me up more. And I've done it before, but I feel like it just, with all the yeast, and like just wine is just, for whatever reason, with water is my go-to. Somebody says unhealthy. I don't know what that is in reference to, but there will be some people that will say like things with like alcohol. I'll tell you what, I think it's all knowing yourself. And I think, and there's a lot of people that are so stressed all the time that don't do anything to lighten up and to enjoy life, that they end up dying early from stress, have heart related issues to stress. So I think it's very good. And you'll hear people say, "Oh, you shouldn't drink alcohol ever." I think there's something to say for having balance and knowing how to use the things that we have available on this planet as tools for us. And oftentimes, my most creative moments have been on alcohol. But it's not belligerent drunk alcohol, just mild buzz. And that's where I think you gotta there's stuff to learning this, and knowing yourself with that, and where it is better to be able to relax fully, right? And have your thing, whatever that is, because some people are so uptight and so stressed all the time, and they're so worried about what everybody else is doing, that they don't really relax and enjoy life. He's not in AEW because CM Punk, or I'm not wrestling right now because I've got legal stuff going on. And by the way, I needed a 5 disc fusion and shoulder replacement that nobody seems like you seem to want to actually acknowledge. And I'm still working on my shoulder. Okay. So maybe there's not anything going on wrestling related wise. So for the people that he can't get hired, or can't, you don't know what you're talking about. I'm just telling you guys, completely clueless marks. And that's just the fact, Jack. And I'm actually going to block you for even putting that out there, because I don't like people like you. I just don't like people like you. Just making up stuff. Just make up stuff and put stuff out there to make it sound like you know what you're talking about. Just keep watching. I'll keep doing. we're going to shell shock this guy. I don't appreciate you asking that question over and over. The guy he's asked me probably 1,000 times on today's show, what do I thought about John Cena in 20 years in WWE? Now he's not going to get to hear it, and I'm not going to talk about it. William, thank you, buddy. Hey, big guy, just got back from Vegas. You were right. The Pawn Star store is very small. Yeah, we talked about that on one of the other Ryback shows, and I'm glad you got to check it out. Though I've yet to be in there, but I just knew from other people and that they said it's much smaller than it appears on TV. And those people are wizards with how they do camera angles and how they get the shots of the stuff. But I would like to get in there myself just to get my eyes on it and see what I've seen on TV. It's always cool to just kind of see that stuff. Yeah, R. Kelly got 30 years. I saw that on Twitter trending today, and I don't know. I wasn't aware. Like, I honestly am so out of the loop on so many things. Completely was unaware of stuff was even going on, and yeah, that's game over. How many people got shell shocked out of Rybackville today? We've had a handful of people shell shocked out of Rybackville today. Have I ever seen WWE talent smoke cigarettes? Big Show used to vape. I've never, and I know he smoked back in the day. I'd heard, but I know he used to vape, and I don't know if he has since quit that. But I know when I always see him with his vape. One of the refs, Mike Chioda, always smoked cigarettes, but he was not a wrestler, but he was a ref. And I don't know if he has since stopped or not. But that's why a lot of people get habits up there, that stuff, because you're on the road, man. There's stress, and a lot of people do chewing tobacco, which I had done off and on. It was then I just realized I've been off that for forever now. But a lot of times people just kind of pick up stuff when you're up there. Let me see here. Yes, I've met Sting multiple times. He was in the match that we had at Survivor Series. And then he was up there for a period when I was there, and I've met him outside of it at some other appearances and stuff. And always has been very friendly. I don't know him well. Never talked to him in any great lengths or anything outside of hi. Ryback, what do you think about becoming an actor in India? I mean, you want me just to kind of up and leave everything I'm doing here? What's the deal? You just kind of, you want me to sell my place in Vegas and move to be a big Bollywood star? The big guy goes to Bollywood. That's my first, like Ernest goes to camp. That's my first big hit over in India. I like business more than acting. I get to do all my acting that I do for this stuff, right? And then whatever to do later in pro wrestling. I'd rather have a business and a bunch of other businesses and make money and live life and not be so concerned about that stuff. Ryback move away from Las Vegas with the dogs to India. I would never ever take them. They would never subject them to a flight of that. Like I would never ever fly with my dogs ever. Would never trust that ever. Ryback, do you love India? Yes, I've talked about India extensively. I've got a very large following in India. I still have people that when that they took the thing of where I said India was really poor, that they'll still occasionally be a hater that doesn't like. I'm like, Jesus, you guys stop being like that. All right. I appreciate all the love and support as always on TikTok and IG as well, guys. I think we're going to wrap up today's show. I've got to get some more work done. I got a big training session today, a lot of cardio, a lot of shoulder work as well here with everything. And we're waiting the new website. I got to go over that later probably for the feedmemore.com website. And speaking of, check out my Feed Me More Nutrition premium supplement sweetened with stevia and monk fruit. No harmful artificial sweeteners or colors, and vegan friendly over on feedmemore.com, guys. And should be back tomorrow. And also for a weekend Ryback show. I haven't decided yet what day we're going to do, Saturday or Sunday. I have to wait and see what I have going on and what day that I can do that. But as always, guys, I always appreciate all the love and support. And until next time, my friends, stay hungry. Feed me more.
Hey, Rybackers, don't forget to hit that like button, smash that subscribe, and shell shock those notifications. For the best supplements on the planet with Feed Me More Nutrition and all the latest cool new Ryback merch, visit feedmemore.com.